Okay, good evening, everyone. Once again, I hope my screen is now visible to you and my voice is clear as well. So please let me know if there's any kind of lag or something like that. Okay. All right. So in the last class, students, we have learned about parallelograms and we have solved few examples as well, right? So I think which example we are going to discuss in this class? I think this is the fourth one, right? Do you remember this? Do you remember this? That we were solving this practice set, I guess, 3.3, right? And how many of you have solved this at your home? Okay, so I consider that everyone is with me and everyone is revising whatever we are learning in the class, right? Then and then it will be useful. Otherwise, you are going to forget this. ठीक है? So, students, हम क्या करेंगे? There are 9 questions. Sorry, there are 12 questions in this practice set, and there are few more topics remaining in this chapter. So what we will do is we will first cover the theory part, and then we'll jump onto this practice set, and then we'll solve the examples. Okay, so this is how we are going to go. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to learn today is a rhombus. So we obtain a rhombus, which you will see in a parallelogram as a special case of kite, which is not a parallelogram. So what does that mean? Now see, this is a rhombus and this is a kite. So what is the difference between a rhombus and kite? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? What is difference between these two figures? Right, first one is kite and the second one is uh, rhombus, right? So what is difference between these two figures? The major difference? There are two differences actually, and there are two similarities as well. Okay, so the first one I will tell you that the sides of rhombus are equal. Is it? Yes or no? You may answer your questions in yes or no as well. Sides of rhombus are equal. All sides are equal, right? So this is the first thing. And the second thing is the opposite sides are parallel. Okay, are you with me, everyone? Or are you sleeping at 7 p.m. only? Okay, I can see a quick response from Shlok only. What about others? Are you awake? Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah. So, see, a rhombus is quadrilateral with sides of equal length, as we discussed earlier. So, since the opposite sides of rhombus have the same length, it's also a parallelogram. So rhombus has all the properties of parallelogram and also that of kite. So try to list them out. You can uh, then verify your list with the checklist summarized in the book elsewhere. Right. So we have to compare few properties of parallelogram and kite with the rhombus. Right. So it is quite similar to both those figures. So property, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of one another. So what does that mean? Perpendicular bisector means, see, this is the first diagonal and this is the second diagonal, and the angle here is 90 degrees. So we can say that this vertical line is perpendicular to this horizontal line, right? So then we can say this is a perpendicular, and they are perpendicular bisectors. So bisectors means they divide themselves in equal parts. Now see, this part is equals to this one and this one is equals to this one. Okay, so this is perpendicular bisector. Now we have to prove this property. How we are going to do this? So take a copy of rhombus, by paper folding verify if the points of intersection is the midpoint of each diagonal. You may check if they intersect at right angles using the corner or a set square. So you can simply make one rhombus out of paper, right? And you can simply fold it. Let us suppose you have taken a cutout like this of a paper. तो आप क्या करोगे, यहाँ पे जो डॉटेड लाइन है, इस डॉटेड लाइन से इस तरफ फोल्ड करोगे, राइट। सो दिस पॉइंट ए शुड मैच विथ पॉइंट सी, राइट। ये पॉइंट अगर यहाँ पे मैच होता है, सो व्हाट डज दैट मीन, दैट मीन्स इट इज AO इज इक्वल्स टू OC। या फिर आप ऐसे भी कर सकते हो कि यहाँ पे जो डॉटेड लाइन दी है AC, सो यू कैन फोल्ड लाइक दिस, ओके। आई होप दिस इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल फॉर यू कि कैसे आपको फोल्ड करना है, राइट। सो दिस वे यू कैन वेरीफाई द रोम्बस प्रैक्टिकली। देन here is an outline justifying this property using logical steps। अभी हमने प्रैक्टिकल मेथड से ट्राई किया whether the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors or not, ये practically हमने देख लिया, right? I'm considering that. Now what we have to do is we have to prove this uh, logically as well. So how we are going to do this? See, ABCD is a rhombus जो कि यहाँ पे दिया है, therefore it is a parallelogram too। तो हमने सीखा है कि rhombus has properties of parallelogram as well as kite। इनफैक्ट यहाँ पे लिखा है कि rhombus has all the properties of parallelogram, but it is not necessary that all the properties of kite। लेकिन जो parallelogram के सारे प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, वो सारे प्रॉपर्टीज rhombus में भी रहेंगे, right? So therefore it is parallelogram too। So since diagonals bisect each other, OA is equals to OC and OB is equals to OD। Now see, हमने पहले ही प्रूफ करके रखा है जब हम पैरेललोग्राम सीख रहे थे। सो वी हैव प्रूव दैट डायगोनल्स ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम bisect each other, yes or no? Do you remember that? I hope you remember that, right? So we have already learned that। so we can simply say if rhombus shows all the properties of parallelogram, and we have already proven that parallelograms diagonals bisect each other, right? So the diagonals of rhombus must bisect each other। तो अभी एक पॉइंट जो हमारा प्रूफ करने का था दोनों में से, विच वन, परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर। सो बाइसेक्टर वाला पॉइंट तो हमारा प्रूफ हो गया, राइट। नाउ वी हैव टू प्रूफ दैट they are perpendicular as well। Now we have to show that angle, measure of angle AOD, so say this one AOD is equals to measure of angle COD is equals to 90 डिग्री। तो ये वाला जो एंगल है और ये वाला जो एंगल है वो 90 डिग्री है। ये प्रूफ करना हमारा अभी मकसद है, कह सकते हैं, राइट। या फिर आप इसको भी प्रूव कर सकते हो, BOC एंड AOB। तो ये दोनों एंगल्स को भी आप प्रूव कर सकते हो। नाउ हाउ वी कैन डू दैट, in it can be seen by the SSS congruency criterion। Now what is SSS criterion, students? It's side side side, if I'm not wrong, right? So see, this is equals to this equals to this is common, actually this is common, and since it is rhombus, so this side is also equal to this side, right? So SSS congruency criteria can be applied here, and from that we can say triangle AOD is congruent with triangle COD, right? So therefore angle AOD, now we are taking corresponding angles, see AOD and angle, measure of angle COD, so they both are same। नाउ सो अभी ये दोनों सेम है, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ क्या, ये दोनों 90 डिग्री ही रहेंगे? नॉट नेसेसरी, बट हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू प्रूव दिस? सी, सिंस दीज टू एंगल्स आर ऑन अ लाइन, सी यहाँ पे इस AC को हम एक लाइन कंसिडर करेंगे, एंड दिस इज सम लाइन दैट इज कटिंग to this line at point O, right? So this total measure should be 180 degree। Since both the angles are equal and the sum of those two angles is 180 degree, so it's quite obvious that the measure of individual angle is 90 degree, right? तो इस तरीके से हम logically prove कर सकते हैं। So anyone have any doubt in this proof? No doubts? Yes? No? If no doubts, then we can move further। I guess my voice is may be getting delayed. That's why I'm receiving your responses delayed. That's my fault actually. I don't have a very good network connection. Okay. Okay, so you don't have doubt. I can see in the chat box now. All right. So let's take one example, solved example. So in this solved example, what we have to do is rice is a rhombus, RIC, rice is a rhombus, and find x, y, z, justify your findings. तो यहाँ पे हमें x की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है, y की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है, and z की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है. So we can do this orally itself, right? So how can we do that? Let us see. X is equals to OE. So x is equals to OE and y is equals to OR. So OI is a diagonal bisects. तो अभी यहाँ पे OI जो है, OI की वैल्यू हमें ऑलरेडी दी है यहाँ पे 5, राइट? सो OI अगर 5 है तो x की वैल्यू क्या रहेगी स्टूडेंट्स? x की वैल्यू भी 5 ही रहेगी. वेरी गुड. नाउ y इज इक्वल्स टू OR दिया है एंड CO इज अ डायगोनल बाइसेक्ट. तो OC की वैल्यू या फिर CO की वैल्यू 12 दी है तो OR की वैल्यू भी 12 ही रहेगी, राइट? सो नाउ विच वन इज रिमेनिंग? Z. तो Z की वैल्यू कैसे निकालेंगे हम? यहाँ पे एक साइड दी हुई है RE और ER, राइट? सो हमें पता है कि sides of rhombus are equal. That is why since this is 13, this has to be 13 as well. Very simple, isn't it? Yeah. So this was all about rhombus. Now we have rectangle. So rectangle is a parallelogram with equal angles. So अभी rectangle और square तो आप लोगों ने सीखा ही है, right? You all know about this, but still we have this in syllabus, so we are going to learn it. So rectangle is a parallelogram itself, but it has all the angles equal, right? So let us suppose this angle is x, so all of the angles will measure to x. So 4x is equals to 360 and x is equals to 90 degree. मतलब हर एक एंगल जो है वो 90 डिग्री का रहेगा. So thus each of angle of rectangle is a right angle. So a rectangle is a parallelogram in which every angle is right angle. So being a parallelogram, the rectangle has opposite sides of equal length and its diagonals bisect each other. तो सी अभी पैरेललोग्राम की हमने बात की है. पैरेललोग्राम में साइड्स जो है वो पैरेलल भी रहती है और जो ऑपोजिट साइड्स है वो इक्वल भी रहती है, राइट? सो इन सिमिलर फैशन रेक्टेंगल में भी जो ऑपोजिट साइड्स है वो इक्वल ही रहती है. वी ऑल नो दैट. एंड one more thing that I don't know whether you people know it or not. I think you must be knowing कि इसके जो diagonals हैं they also bisect each other, right? Rectangle के जो diagonals हैं they bisect each other. Now in parallelogram the diagonals can be of different lengths, but surprisingly the rectangle being a special case has diagonals of equal length. So one more thing that is additional thing I can say is that the diagonals of rectangle are equal, right? So this is the figure and this is the proof. So I don't think we should go through this proof because we can solve few examples, right? So RENT is a rectangle. Its diagonals meet at O. Find x if OR is equals to 2x plus 4 and OT is equals to 3x plus 1. So see, अभी यहाँ पे 2x plus 4 OR का मेजर दिया है और 3x plus 1 दिया है OT का मेजर. And what we have to find x. Where is x? Yeah, x तो यहाँ पे हमें फॉर्मूला में ही दिया है. So it's pretty clear that जो diagonals है they are equal and they bisect each other. That means जो ये length रहेगी, which length? TE. TE will be equal to RN. TE will be equal to RN, and similarly RO will be equal to ON, RO will be equal to OT as well, RO will be equal to OE as well. मतलब यहाँ पे जब बाइसेक्ट हुए हैं ये डायगोनल्स उसके बाद में जो
चारों भी पार्ट से, like this part, this part, this part and this part, all are of equal measure, right? So 3x plus 1 is equals to 2x plus हम 4 कह सकते हैं. So if we solve this linear equation, see, 1 comes here and it becomes 3, so 2x comes here, x is equals to 3. So this is what we have to find, right? I think it should not be an issue. Okay, so the next, and I guess the last figure, is it? Yeah, it's last one, maybe. Yeah. So the last one is square. So square mein, a square is a rectangle with equal sides. That's it. All other properties are same. This means a square has all the properties of rectangle with an additional requirement that all the sides have equal length. The square, like the rectangle, has diagonal of equal length. In rectangle, there's no requirement for the diagonals to be perpendicular to one another, but in a square, diagonals bisect one another, are of equal length, and are perpendicular to each another. Hence, we get the following property: the diagonals of square are perpendicular bisectors of each other. And one more thing is that, so rhombus में और square में अगर हम कुछ difference करना चाहे, so what difference is that? Differences तो वैसे बहुत सारे हैं, like, but when we consider only about diagonals, so tell me one thing: diagonals of a rhombus are equal or not? मतलब जो दो diagonals रहेंगे, they are of equal length or not? Yes or no? rhombus के जो diagonals हैं, are they equal? Are they equal? Equal, is it? Okay. Any other answer? I'm talking about rhombus, not about square. Diagonals of rhombus are equal or not? So Shlok and Om are saying, so these are equal. Now Shlok has changed his answer to no. Okay, so Om, do you still think that the diagonals are equal? Okay, so for your convenience, I will put the figure in front of you. So if I'm not wrong, this is the rhombus, right? So this is the rhombus, and AC and BD, these two are diagonals. Are they equal? Oh, you are not able to hear. All right, no problem. I hope I'm audible now. Okay, so स्टूडेंट्स, बाकी बाकी लोग आंसर क्यों नहीं दे रहे? सिर्फ ओम और श्लोक ने आंसर दिया है. Either I guess you have not replied to a single question, and Priyal is replying in between, but not for all questions. I want answer from Priyal and Aidur. Tell me, diagonals of rhombus are equal or not? Come on, don't waste time of others. Okay, no? Aidur, are you there? Do you have any network problem? All right, I think Aidur is maybe not with us. No worries. Let's not waste time of others. Okay, so yeah, so this is the difference. This is the difference with, yes, yeah, okay, you have network problem, you can inform me that. All right, so this was the difference in diagonals of square and rhombus. Okay, now let's compare again rhombus and square. What about angles? What is difference between angles of rhombus and square? In rhombus, opposite angles are equal, right? Opposite angles are equal, but in square, all the angles are equal and all are right angles, right? This is the main difference. Okay, so let's solve this exercise 3.4 and question 1. Okay, and then we will jump on to the exercise 3.3. So state whether true or false. All rectangles are squares. All rectangles are squares. True or false? you can either type T or F. It is false. Okay, so it's false. All right, so B, all rhombuses are parallelograms. Is it true? Okay, B is true. Very quick. All squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. Is that true or false? True. Yeah, very good. All squares are not parallelograms. It's false. Oh, someone is saying true. How is that? All squares are parallelogram. It's false. All kites are rhombuses. Yeah, not necessarily. Right. All rhombuses are kites. It's true. Yeah, good. All parallelograms are trapeziums. All parallelograms are trapeziums. Yeah, true. And all squares are trapeziums. That is also true. Correct. Yeah. Now identify all the quadrilaterals that have four sides of equal length. Four sides of equal length. Name them. Name them in the chat box. Identify all quadrilaterals that have four sides of equal length. Square is one of them. All right. And the rhombus. Square is the one and the rhombus is second one. Right. Then question B, four right angles. Which quadrilateral have four right angles? A rectangle is one of them and the second one is square. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's jump on to the question 3. Explain how a square is. A quadrilateral it is? Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. All right. Second one, is it a parallelogram? Yes. Is it rhombus? Yes. Is it rhombus? Yeah, it's a rhombus. Why not? Square, square is a rhombus. Do you have any doubt in it? No, no. See, मैं कह रहा हूँ इसके लिए आपको ओके कहने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, if you have some point, you can put it ahead. If you have doubt, you can tell me. All right. So I feel a square is also a rhombus. Do you feel so, students? Yes or no? Yeah, yeah. Okay. The fourth one, a square is also a rectangle. Yes, great. Okay. So fourth one. Now, why I'm taking these four questions? Because it is like very quick questions. These are, we can answer them orally, right? We don't have to write and all. So name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals bisect each other. So कौन से ऐसे diagonals है, sorry, quadrilaterals है जिनके की diagonals is each other को bisect करते हैं. Rectangle is one of them. Okay, great. Rectangle is one of them. Are there any more? Any more? Square के भी करते हैं. They bisect each other. They bisect each other, right? Square के भी करते हैं. Rhombus के भी करते हैं. Parallelogram के भी करते हैं. So there are four answers actually. Is it? Yes or no? Parallelogram, rhombus, square, and rectangle. Yeah. Okay. The second one. are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Perpendicular bisectors of each other. Perpendicular bisector I'm talking about. I don't think rhombus has perpendicular. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I think rhombus also has perpendicular bisectors. So rhombus is the one and kite is the second one. What about square? What about square? What about square, students? स्क्वायर के भी बाइसेक्टर्स सॉरी या डायगोनल्स एक दूसरे के लिए परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर्स हैं. यस, स्क्वायर इज आल्सो रोम्बस ना. अगर रोम्बस के है तो स्क्वायर के भी होने ही चाहिए. Isn't it? Don't you think so? See, right? Yes or no? Any doubt? Yeah. Okay. So when you put yes, then I understand that you have understood this. Otherwise, I'm like you are in a confusion. Okay. Yeah. So explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay. We'll do that later. And the sixth one, this seems to be a lengthy question. Okay, let's do it later. So what we'll do before we go to the practice set 3.3, let's revise whatever we have learned in this chapter, and then it will be easy for us to solve the questions, right? So parallelogram, a quadrilateral with each pair of opposite side parallel. So that is a parallelogram, and parallelogram has these properties. First property is opposite sides are equal. Opposite side, this is equal to this is equals to this is one property. Opposite angles are equal, this equals to this and this equals to this, right? And diagonals bisect one another. So bisect means this is equals to this and this is equals to this, not necessarily they should be equal. ठीक है, मतलब this should, it is not necessary that this portion should be equal to this one, but the portions of same diagonal are going to be same. Okay. Now the rhombus. All properties of parallelogram, मतलब ये जो properties है वो properties सारी rhombus में आती है. Plus diagonals are perpendicular to each other. They bisect, that is true, but they are perpendicular as well. Now let's go to the next, that is rectangle. Rectangle में all properties of parallelogram है. Each of its angle is right angle and diagonals are equal. So ये दो additional properties हैं except for the properties of parallelogram. And square, all properties of parallelogram, rhombus and rectangle, सारी properties हैं. So kite, a diagonal, the diagonals are perpendicular to one another. One of the diagonal bisects the other. तो दोनों diagonals bisect नहीं होती है students, सिर्फ एक होती है, right? So in figure, measure of angle B and D but are equal but not A and C. So see, ये एंगल और ये एंगल सेम है बट नॉट दिस वन. ठीक है, ए और सी नहीं रहेंगे. सो दिस इज अबाउट kite, if in case just you have any doubt. Okay, so let's go back to the practice at 3.3 and we'll try to solve few questions. Yeah, so now the question fifth, I think fourth one we have to solve. Okay, draw a rough figure of a quadrilateral that is not parallelogram but has exactly two opposite angles of equal measure. So can we draw this figure? All right, no problem, no problem, Shlok. Tell me, can we draw this figure? Draw a rough figure of quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram but has exactly two opposite angles of equal measure. Any idea? Okay, let me just give you a hint. The last figure that we discuss is the answer. Do you remember which last figure we discussed? सबसे लास्ट में हमने क्या डिस्कस किया अभी? Do you remember or not? Yeah, we discussed kite, right? How can you forget? Yeah. So kite is a figure which is not a parallelogram, right? It is not a parallelogram, but exactly two opposite angles are of equal measure. हमने देखा ना अभी कि B और D same थे. I will go back to that figure again. See here, this is a quadrilateral, right? This is a quadrilateral. It has two opposite angles as equal and two of them are not. So this is the figure that we needed. So kite is the figure. Okay. Now fifth one, the measure of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio of 3s to 2. Find the measure of each of the angles of parallelogram. So measure of two angles of parallelogram are in the ratio of 3s to 2. Now you must know the property that sum of measure of adjacent angles of parallelogram is equals to how much? पैरेललोग्राम के जो एडजेसेंट एंगल्स रहते हैं उसका सम कितना रहता है स्टूडेंट्स? What is sum? Do you remember? Is it 180 degree? No. I'm talking about adjacent angles, not the measure of all the angles. Yeah, 180 degree exactly. So the adjacent angles are in the ratio of 3s to 2. So let us suppose first angle is 3x and the second angle is 2x. So tell me what should be the sum? 3x plus 2x is equals to 180 degree. यही होना चाहिए, right? So 5x is equals to 180 degree. Then x is equals to how much? 36. Yeah, x is equals to 36. So 36. So is that our answer? Is that our answer? No, it's not. So what is our answer? तो हमारा जो पहला एंगल है that is 3x. So 3x means 3 into 36. That is equals to 108 or 1110. Is it? It should be 108 maybe. Yeah. First angle is 108. Second angle is 72 degree. Right? 108 and 72 degree. These are the two angles, two adjacent angles. Now we have measure of two adjacent angles. Now we can calculate all the angles. Right? Opposite angles are equal. तो 108 के ऑपोजिट में जो एंगल रहेगा दैट विल बी अगेन 108 और 72 के जो ऑपोजिट में रहेगा दैट विल बी अगेन 72. तो 108, 72, 108 and 72. So these are the four angles of that parallelogram. Clear? I hope yes. Okay. So the measure, okay, that is done. Now two adjacent angles of parallelogram have equal measures. Find the measure of each of the angles of parallelogram. We don't even need to write a single word. We can solve this orally itself. एक पैरेललोग्राम है जिसके एडजेसेंट एंगल्स जो है वो इक्वल है, राइट? एडजेसेंट एंगल्स इक्वल है पैरेललोग्राम के. सो एडजेसेंट एंगल्स की सम कितनी होती है? 180 डिग्री होती है. वी नो दैट. नो, दोनों एंगल्स सेम ही है तो 180 को अगर हम हाफ में डिवाइड करेंगे सो एक एंगल का मेजर क्या रहेगा? आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? 90 degree exactly. So 90, 90, 90 and 90. All of the angles are of 90 degree. So this parallelogram is a rectangle also. Right? This is a rectangle, isn't it? If we draw this parallelogram, this will look like or this will be a rectangle only. Yeah, good. Chalo, next one. The adjacent figure hope is a parallelogram. Find the angles of measures x, y and z. State the properties you can use to find them. तो पहले x की वैल्यू निकालना है, y की निकालना है और z की निकालना है. How we are going to do this? Tell me. So the first thing is, so this is 70. Right? This is 70. So this is going to be, angle O is going to be how much? 110. Yeah, 110. So अगर ये 110 है, so this is going to be 70 again, क्योंकि ये दोनों adjacent angles हैं. तो adjacent angles की sum 180 रहती है, तो ये अगर 110 है तो ये 70 डिग्री रहेगा. And for all the peoples out there जो भी late आए हैं, I guess I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Rakesh Pense, and there was someone else as well. So please be on time. Okay, please join 5 minutes before 7 p.m. so that you will not miss a single part. अगर आप ऐसे बीच में join करोगे, so you will miss some part and you will not understand the rest of part. ठीक है? Yeah. So first 5 minutes are very crucial because I take revision of previous lectures as well. Okay. So that person has left, I guess. Yeah. So the adjacent figure hope is a parallelogram. Find the measures of angle XYZ. That was our question. तो यहाँ पे अगर इस complete angle का measure 70 degree है, so what will be the measure of angle Z? What will be the measure of angle Z? No. How is it going to be 40? It's not going to be 40. Yeah, it's going to be 30. Correct. So अगर Z का value 30 है, तो what is going to be the value of Y? What is going to be the value of Y? Is it going to be 40? Yeah. Yeah. Correct. What about others? Omi is giving answer twice, thrice, and others are not giving once. Okay, so it's going to be 40 again, students. Why? Because see, this is a parallel line, this is a parallel line, and this line is cutting it, right? So that's why this angle will be equals to this one. So Y is going to be 40, right? This is a transversal. You must have learned. Okay, so we have Z, we have Y. Now we are left with X. So X is going to be, except for the Ohm, who is going to answer? What is going to be the value of X? Baki log? Okay, Ohm again, it's 110. बाकी लोग अगर जब तक आंसर नहीं देंगे, मैं आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू गो अहेड. Oh, is it? My screen is not visible to you. So Shlok, I would suggest you to just drop off from the meeting and join quickly back. Okay. Yeah. So he must be joining. Okay. So till the Shlok is joining, can okay, 440. Okay, Rakesh. So the value of X is not going to be 100. It's going to be 110. Right. I hope Shlok can see now. Can you? Yeah. So X is going to be 110, students. Okay, you're still not able to see. I don't know what is the issue. I think everyone else is able to see the screen? Maybe you have some network issue, or you must check your settings once. Okay. Okay, so we are left with 5 4 minutes. Just listen to what I'm telling, what I'm saying here. Okay, and we're done with the day. Yeah. So the following figures, guns and runs, are parallelograms. So which one is gun? This one is gun, and this one is run. Sorry, guns and runs are parallelograms. And then find x and y. So we have to find x and y. So see, यहाँ पे un की वैल्यू 18 है, सो gs की वैल्यू भी 18 ही रहेगी. सो gx इज इक्वल्स टू 3x दिया है और un इज इक्वल्स टू 18 दिया है. सो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी द वैल्यू ऑफ x, स्टूडेंट्स? 3x is equals to 18. That means x is equals to 6. See, Shlok is not able to see. Still, he has answered. Shlok, you can just refer to your book. Okay. अगर तुम्हारे पास book है, so you open it and you can refer that. Yeah. So x is equals to 18 रहेगा. Now 3y minus 1 is equals to 26 है. Yeah. So Aidur has explained it in more details. So 3y is 3y minus 1. Okay. Yeah. So 3y minus 1 is equals to 26 है. So what is y? What is value of y, students? So 3y is equals to रहेगा 27. 1 जाएगा right side में. And 3y is equals to 27. That means y is equals to 27 by 3. It's 9. Yeah. It's 9. Great. Okay. So last question for the day. This one. And we are going to stop today. Stop for today. Okay. So यहाँ पे हमें x और y की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है. How we are going to do this? See, first यहाँ पे 16 is equals to x plus y है, ये हमें पता है because the diagonals are bisectors as well, right? So x plus y is equals to 16 है, ये तो हमें पता है. But since there are two variables, we cannot solve with this. But if you see another pair, so y plus 7 is equals to 20 अगर आप देखोगे, that is equals to, like, y plus 7 is equals to 20, right? So we can easily find out the value of y here first, right? So what is y? Y is equals to 13. Yeah, y is equals to 13. Now since y is equals to 13, we can put y, the value of y here. So x plus y, that means 13. X plus 13 is equals to 16. So x की वैल्यू क्या रहेगी? 3 रहेगी, right? So x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 13. So this is the solution. Okay, so since we have some time, I would like to solve this as well. Is that okay? हम 9th one भी solve कर लेते हैं, so that we are almost done with the practice set, and rest of the figures you can solve at home, or we can take it in the next class, right? So we are going to just solve this one for the last. So यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है? x की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है, स्टूडेंट्स. x की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट करनी है. So now focus. Okay, कुछ भी नहीं करना है आपको, लिखना नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ देखना है how we are going to solve this. So see, this is a parallelogram. Okay, RISK, रिस्क इज अ पैरेललोग्राम. ठीक है, तो इसमें अगर ये 120 है तो ये वाला भी 120 रहेगा, ये वाला 120 रहेगा, राइट? सो ये वाला 120 है, तो ये यहाँ पे जो एंगल है ये कितना रहेगा, स्टूडेंट्स? टेल मी नाउ, टेल मी. 120 है. 120 कौन सा है? ये वाला एंगल 120 है. लेकिन इस लाइन की यहाँ पे जो एंगल है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी 60 डिग्री एग्जैक्टली. सो इसे 60 पकड़ के चलो. ठीक है, सो ये वाला एंगल 60 डिग्री है, यह भी हमें पकड़ के चलना है. ऑल राइट. सो अभी भूल जाओ. ठीक है, यहाँ पे 60 हमने फाइंड आउट कर लिया. नाउ दिस इज अ पैरेललोग्राम. ओके, सो ये अगर 70 है तो ये कितना रहेगा, बताओ? यहाँ पे एंगल 70 है तो ये एंगल कितना रहेगा? 110 एग्जैक्टली. और ये अगर 110 है तो यहाँ पे जो एंगल है वो कितना रहेगा, स्टूडेंट्स? दैट इज गोइंग टू बी 70 अगेन. या सो हमें दो एंगल्स मिल गए अभी इस छोटे वाले ट्रायंगल के. छोटे वाले ट्रायंगल के दो एंगल्स मिल गए, 60 और 70. नाउ व्हाट इज द मेजर ऑफ एंगल थर्ड वन? थर्ड वन का मेजर क्या है? एक 60 और 70 याद रखो. थर्ड वन क्या है? सो इफ दिस इज x, सो दिस इज अगेन गोइंग टू बी x. right? This is going to be x itself. So x plus 60 plus 70, x plus 60 plus 70, तो x की वैल्यू कितनी आएगी? 50 आएगी, right? Yeah, I hope it was clear for everyone how we found it. हमने कैसे इसे फाइंड किया, ठीक है? तो पहले हमने इसको कंसीडर किया, इस पैरेललोग्राम को, देन इसको कंसीडर किया, ये एंगल्स निकाले पहले, बाद में हमने इंटीरियर एंगल्स निकाले, और देन वी कंसीडर द ट्रायंगल एंड देन वी फाउंड द value of x. So it's x is equals to 50, and that was the last question for today. I will see you in the next class on next Wednesday, and I hope everybody joins on time or before 5 minutes, right? So yeah, students, that's it for today, and take care of your health and your family. I'll see you in the next class on next Wednesday. Bye bye, and you are free to leave the class. Bye. Yeah, bye bye everyone. Bye. Leave the class. Bye. Class has ended. Yeah, it's okay, no problem.